This project is on the efficacy of fabric foam laminate composite in impact force dissipation. Now, I'll introduce the project to all of you. What exactly are fabric foam laminate composites? What are they used for? In modern days, fabric foam laminate composites are being utilized increasingly because they are good impact absorbers and distributors. Often, it is being used in athletic clothing for rough sports such as rugby and bulletproof vests in the army. We have identified two variable factors that can potentially affect the impact absorption property of a composite. One is the layering method and the other is foam material. For our experiments, we have chosen Kevlar as fabric type for all of the composites because of its inherent textile strength. In this project, we aim to investigate the efficacy of fabric foam laminate composites and determine the mechanism behind impact absorption and distribution. Now, let me introduce to you the four layering methods we experimented with: plain, fabric on top, sandwich, and triple fabric layer. Do note that the yellow fabric in the model composite is Kevlar. Moving on, we have worked on three types of polymers as our foam material. They are chosen because they have good flexibility and is adequately comfortable to the user when worn. Firstly, we used polyurethane as we are able to vary its density, allowing us to investigate how density can affect the overall impact absorption. Next, we used two types of shear thickening fluid, namely the siloxane and polyvinyl alcohol (PVA). Siloxane turns viscous when compressed, while the PVA turns viscous under shear stress, or put simply, ripping. We predict that by increasing the number of fabric layers, the impact absorption would therefore be improved. Thus, this translates to the triple fabric layer method being the most effective method.
Now, I'll be telling you how we go about doing our experiments. Here are two pictures of the machines utilized for our experiments. After a calibrated load of the drop test machine was released on a laminate composite, the general graph shape is as shown and is being depicted on an oscilloscope screen. Force transmitted is taken from the peak voltage value of the graph using a constant factor conversion. A displacement load graph is being plotted at the same time. Indentation tests were also carried out on the different laminate composites. The peak values for the other three layering methods are converted to a percentage of the peak value of the PU foam for PU foams. Comparing all three columns with the first column, only the second column, which has the fabric on top layering method, shows that this method is the best in absorbing impact. Similarly, looking at this table, the results obtained from STF are also consistent with the fabric on top layering method being the most effective layering method. The first row of pre-skew films belongs to the three different densities of the PU foams with the plain material. The second row of pre-skew films belongs to the three different densities of the PU foams with the fabric on top layering method. Analyzing these pre-skew films, the highest density PU foam, C3 and C6, have the darker stain, which shows that the highest force is being transmitted through them. The middle density PU foam, C2 and C5, have the largest spread, meaning that the impact dissipation is the most effective here. Lastly, the lowest density PU foam, C1 and C4, have only white stains appearing on these films.
This displacement load graph shown here is from the indentation test. The reciprocal of the gradient is related to the stiffness of the laminate composite. From the graph, the fabric on top is the stiffest and the sandwich is the least stiff material. Thus, there is a trade-off between stiffness and impact absorption. In conclusion, there are 4 points we derived from our research. Firstly, the layering method of having the fabric on top of the laminate composite is most effective. Fabric on top layering method is more effective than a fabric sandwiched in between because it is able to dissipate the impact immediately upon contact. Fabric on top layering method performed better than the triple fabric layer as there was too little material to absorb the force, allowing bulk of the impact to pass through. Secondly, among the three different density PU foams, the middle density works the best, which is about 600 kilograms per meter cube. It is able to keep the fabric taut enough to absorb the impact. The low and high density PU foams either had too much or too little air spaces within its structure. Hence, it is unable to absorb the impact well. Thirdly, Increase the viscosity of the foam material under shearing helps to distribute and dissipate impact. Fourthly, the claims made by corporations about the benefits of their material may not be entirely true. We also have to consider the possible trade-off between stiffness, which constitutes to comfort of the user, and the impact absorption. We have come to the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.